welcome back to Chaos Head NoaH. Last time we did a whole bunch of distortions on the way to friggin' finding you as rude. Oh my god, seriously. That I had no idea there were so many. Hello Saya, welcome to the stream. Like that was a lot. Like, but I gotta say, I am shocked at how much better the negative distortions, hello Zarmegas, welcome to the stream, were than the positive ones. Like, the positive ones were just, really just felt like fan service, while the negative ones, like, really, like, seemed to delve into his character. And, like, they really gave more insight and, like, foreshadowing. Like, dang, I had no idea. It certainly affect how I approach delusions in Chaos Child. Hello, Exec Fast Out, and we'll go. Welcome to the stream. Just hold on one second. Let's finally, actually, for real, start the UA route. I just need to turn on the air conditioning because it's one of those days where it's too cold with the air conditioning on, but too hot with it off. Right, let's do it. By the time Yua finished up with Bon and Mimosa and left Frisia, the sky had long since been covered with a thick veil of darkness. During the time she had spent there, Yua had explained all the suspicions she had gathered from her investigation of Nishijo Takumi. Bon was a detective, and Mimosa was the head of a private investigation agency. If she could get the two of them on her side, then perhaps Nishijo Takumi would finally be arrested. That was what Yua had been hoping for. Nishijo Takumi needed to be arrested. Yua had sympathy for the boy's painful circumstances, so she would have preferred if he had turned himself into the authorities. But since he had refused to do so, she had no choice but to get the police involved. That had been her plan at any rate. Damn it, you're way too sure of yourself, Yua. Jeez. But much to her surprise, Detective Bon had told her that Nishijo Takumi had been removed from the list of suspects. Hello, Zash, welcome to the stream. Yua found this news absolutely unbelievable. She did not want to accept it. Why had her theory been dismissed? It was blatantly obvious that Nishijo Takumi was behind Eugen. Dang. You're like me with the fucking theories. Oh, Yua. Biting down on her lip, Yua increased her pace as she hurried towards the station. She had to return home as quickly as possible, investigate the case from top to bottom, and find some conclusive evidence. And with that evidence, she'd be able to prove her theory correct to Detective Bon. Could this be some rando? Whoa! Is that who I think it is, Little Miss Kusunoki? Sudden the sound of her name startled Yua, stopping her dead in her tracks. The words of her homeroom teacher came to mind.
Shiva, you had become all too dangerous lately. Women really shouldn't be out alone not right now.
Remembering that warning, Yua froze completely. The voice she had just heard belonged to a rather friendly-looking young man. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't... Okay.
Let's see. What was your first name again? Yua-chan, right?
Ooh, boy. Do I know you? She felt like she had seen him somewhere before, but at the moment could not remember exactly where.
覚えてないっすか？自分、諏訪守って言います。ほら、こういうものっすよ。
What? You don't remember? It's me, Suwamamoru. Here, check it.
Hello T, welcome to the stream. Making sure that only Yua could see it, the man took out his police badge and showed it to her, then quickly shoved it back inside his suit pocket.
集団ダイブの後、一度楠木さんのお宅に伺ったことはありますよ。
Oh
その
wow.
時にゆあちゃんともいろいろお話ししたんすけどね。
We're gonna get to see her reaction to the true culprit.
After the group dive went down, I paid your family a visit. Real nice people, all of them. We talked about all kinds of stuff. And I know for a fact you joined in too.
すいません。思い出しました。その説はどうも。
My apologies. I remember now. Thank you for coming to talk with us back then. Yua bowed her head. The incident had really shaken her to her core, so much so that she could genuinely not recall Sua's face. I wonder why. However, their talk back then, yes, it's the Dark Phoenix, had indeed helped Yua sort out her thoughts regarding the bizarre nature of her sister's death. And for that, she was truly grateful to him.
さっきまでバン刑事と一緒だったんじゃないっすか？
You were with Detective Bond just now, weren't you?
マンさんとお知り合いなんですか？
Huh? Is Bonson an acquaintance of yours?
そりゃ同じ警視庁捜査一課っすから。自分の先輩っすよ。いつも怒られてます。
Well, we're in the same division of the TMPD, you see? He's my senior. I swear, though, that guy can't go a day without laying into me about something.
よっぽど若い女の子と話せるのが嬉しかったんすね。
I'm sure talking to a nice young lady like yourself made him pretty happy, though, so maybe you'll give me a break today.
Oh, I'm sure that's what's gonna happen, Zash. But I mean, eventually she'll see.
ここだけの話っすけど、今日ゆあちゃんと会うって自分に教えてくれた時の先輩、鼻の下伸ばしちゃって、どう見てもスケベ親父って感じだったっす。
Yeah, right, you're just fucking slandering him.
It's just between you and me, but when he said he'd be meeting with you today, he had the creepiest smile on his face. And look, I love the guy and all, but I'm 99% sure he has some real dirty going on in that head of his.
Oh.
できれば自分も同席したかったんすけど、捜査から抜け出せなくて。
Adachi Gunadachi. Let's see.
I wanted to tag along, but I had work to do on the investigation, you see. Making more crimes. To
そう
investigate.
そう。ゆあちゃんのご両親には連絡行ってるんすかね？多分行ってると思うんすけど。どうかな？
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I need to get in touch with your folks. I thought about heading to your house directly, but if only there was a better way.
連絡と言いますと？
Why do you need to contact them?
ああ、いや、集団ダイブのね、犯人が使ったと思われる遺留品が見つかったんすよ。
Oh, God.
Oh, nothing crazy. Just about the group dive. We discovered that the culprit may have left something behind.
本当ですか？
What? Really? For the first Yua had heard of this. With all hesitation now evaporated, she stepped closer to Sua.
ええ、どんなものだと思うっすか？ま、最近別の事件でマスコミが散々取り上げてるんで有名だと思うんすけど。なんと、ダーススパイダーのヘルメットっす。
Why is he telling her about this? Why is he telling her about this thing? Jeez.
Yep, mass media recently spotted it at the scene of another incident, so it's picked up quite a bit of steam already.
Oh, I get it. So she connects it to Takumi. Because he's not... Because obviously, yeah, he's going to connect it to... Yeah, he's going to... That's so she can connect it to Takumi, yeah. Dang.
You guess what it is? You're never gonna believe this, but it was a Darth Spider helmet.
それを集団ダイブの犯人もかぶっていたんですか？
Was the group dive culprit wearing that as well?
そうネットに事件の様子を撮影したビデオが流出したっすよね。あれを解析した結果わかったんすよ。
Uh-huh. Remember that video of the incident that popped up online? After we got back the analysis, it became clear as day.
それにしてもダーススパイダーといえば例の渋谷エスパー騒動の少年が有名っすよね。西条匠くんでしたっけ？
Man, you are just dodging so hard right now. Jeez.
By the way, speaking of Darth Spider, just on the offhand, there was this huge uproar in Shibuya about some Esper boy made the news and everything. If I remember right, his name was, whatever. God, it's on the tip of my tongue, I swear. Nishijo Takumi or something? I don't know.
なんで彼が集団ダイブの犯人と同じようにダーススパイダーのヘルメットを持ってたんですかね？
You gotta wonder. Why would that Nishijo guy have a Darth Spider helmet just like the guy behind the group dive did? Oh well, I'm only a professional policeman. I have no idea. This is way above my pay grade. If only there was some plucky young junior detective with a heart of gold and a mind filled with determination. And some personal stakes in this matter that could put 2 and 2 together for me. But oh well. Do.
The moment she heard those words, dark impulses began to flood Yua's heart. She had been completely convinced. She had only begun feeling it a few moments ago. That all she needed was one piece of decisive evidence. Totally, Zash. Seriously. One piece to prove herself to Pana Momose, and one piece to become the king of the pirates. And now she had it.
さてと、それじゃあ自分フリージアに行くんで、この辺で失礼します。
Well, I've got to head to Frisia now, on that dusty old trail. So, if you'll excuse me, miss. Do.
I wonder why he was laughing like that. He must have remembered a rather funny joke. And with that, Suwa waved goodbye and left. All by herself now, Yua stared down at the pavement, utterly paralyzed.
彼だわ。
It was him. Her murmurs were to no one but herself.
彼なの。
He did it.
やっぱり彼だった。
He did it after all.
彼しかいない。
He had to be the one who did it.
彼に間違いない。
He did. Oh, God. Why do you do this, Yua? Jeez. He did it without a doubt. He did it.
彼が妹を殺したのよ。
He killed my little sister.
彼がミワを殺したのよ。
He killed Mia. Nightheart had entered the room. Oh, I gotta check if this is a new or old scene. Oh, it's new. Yo! Hey, Nightheart-kun. I've been waiting for you. Because there's been another new gen. What are you even on about? Let's start asking art here. New gen, dude. What the fuck you think I'm on about? How exactly do we go from new gen to new gen? Oh, this is a repeated scene. I remember this. I remember this conversation. The 7th case.
It had happened again. Another new gen. How long was this damn thing gonna go on for? Was I next? Would I be the victim of the 8th? 9th? Anxiety aside, Grim was pretty much the new gen news guy at this point. He even keeping me in the loop about basically everything, almost as if he was there. Even now, he's going out of his way to link a bunch of blog posts and news articles about it. Seemed like he really wanted me to take a look. Biting my lip, I reluctantly clicked the first link. Yeah, it's the DQ1 puzzle. That is a super interesting theory, Zash, that Mia never existed and Yua has DID. That is very interesting. Like, the way she refers to Mia as, like, doing stuff that she couldn't, or, like, sacrificing for her, is it does feel like something, it does feel like that could be a thing. We've already read this article. Yeah. Zero connection to other cases. Sure to see it's one of its anti-DQNs. Huh. With their lower body stuff around and shit like a puzzle, but with corpses. Feel like I traded my upper body for some alphas, Lamau. That Resper boy Nishijo will sniff out the perp for us any time now. You just videos bear the what?
今日午前4時50分ごろ、東京都渋谷区の線路沿いで男性3人の他殺死体が鉄柱に吊り下げられているのを通りかかる
Okay, I'm just gonna ask you guys straight up. This is clearly a repeated scene, but the game doesn't seem to think it is. Do you want me to go? Do you want me to read this, or just go through? Because this is clearly just the same scene. And it'll probably go into some new stuff later. See, yeah, whatever you guys think is what I'll do for this. Just go ahead. Okay.
警察の調べによりますと、3人とも同体の3人の額には渋谷では2ヶ月ほど前から猟奇殺人事件が頻発しており、警察では今回の事件も同一犯による犯行の可能性が高いとみて捜査を
あいつらだ。昨日僕に絡んできた。
Right, it's the 3 guys that Kozapi beat up. He thinks it's Kozapi. Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. They were killed after they left, yep. Alright, let's see. Here we go. Let's see. If this is you, yeah. Just now, there had been a knock at the door. Someone was there. I looked at the clock on my PC. It was past 8 p.m. Who in their right mind would show up this late? Wait, Remy. It has to be her. She finally come to save me. She said she would stay by my side, hasn't she? It only made sense that she'd come back to me. Would it have killed her to come a little earlier, though? Feeling like my salvation was at hand, I practically threw myself at the door. I then removed the padlock and opened the door. Reek! Surprise, bitch! I tried to call out Remy's name, but I handsomely clamped my mouth shut. Panic instantly overwhelmed me. I didn't even have the chance to see who it was. I tried forcing the hand off my mouth. Before I could,
The attacker threw all their weight against me. I staggered backward. Still, I desperately tried to stand my ground. I flailed my arms around wildly, thinking I'd somehow help me break their grasp. I then opened my mouth wide and bit down on their hand as hard as I could. Ugh. But despite that, my attacker remained silent. They weren't even fazed. I bit down with all my strength, so they must have been in pain, but they still didn't let go. They pressed against me even harder, causing me to lose my balance. No longer able to resist, I fell to the floor with them on top of me. Oh. The back of my head hit the ground so hard. I nearly lost consciousness. My vision started to go blurry and I couldn't even tell exactly how I'd landed. To top it up, the assailant was still covering my mouth. So tightly, in fact, that I could barely breathe. My consciousness was starting to fade. So before I blacked out, I desperately tried to get a glimpse of the person who'd attacked me. Ooh. And she's blushing? Jeez. Oh my god, look. The bloody hand right there, jeez. Her hand is all bloody. Is he biting her? Jeez. Oh god, I'd completely forgotten about her. I was so focused on Shogun, his #1 underling slipped my mind. Realizing that, the sheer terror sent shivers down my entire body. I struggled as hard as I could, desperately trying to escape. But under the full weight of her body, I couldn't move an inch. Under normal circumstances, I would have been focused on the fact that our bodies are pressed together, but I lacked the capacity for that right now. Now wasn't the time to be drooling over female contact. There was only one thing on my mind. I needed to get away from somehow or she'd kill me. Blood trickled out of Yua's hand where I'd bitten her. Even so, she kept pressing down with all her might. Her grip was intense when she first grabbed hold of me. She was trying to relentlessly keep my jaw shut, to the point where her nails were digging into my cheeks. Sharp stabbing pain pierced through my body. It was you. Her mutters came between ragged breaths, much to my horror. I had to keep resisting, so I grabbed Yua's long hair and pulled hard. Yua still didn't budge. All she did was grimace. Using her free hand, she gripped my hand tightly and dug her nails in once again. Ah! The immense pain forced me to let go, and then using the tiny opening, she pinned my hand to the floor. It was you, wasn't it? It was you! Yua's glasses I slipped on her nose during the fight. Tears were welling up behind them, likely from the pain of me pulling her hair. Just like that day at Shoto Park, she was staring right through me with those cold, sharp eyes. You killed. What the hell was she talking about? Was the same bullshit always calling me the new gen killer? I haven't killed anyone. You came here to kill me, you dumb bitch. I tried to glare back at Yua, but hers was just too terrifying to confront. Nothing good could come from making eye contact with dangerous people. And as soon as I came to realize how true that was, how unhinged a look could really be, I looked away, wishing for the depths of my soul that I wake up this nightmare. But don't you dare look away. Yua brought her face in even closer.
I could feel her ragged breasts on my cheek.
私を見て
Look at me.
With how close she was, it was practically impossible to look anywhere else. Her breast was incredibly hot. I wanted to headbutt her, but Yua was pressing down so hard, I couldn't even lift my head off the floor.
教えてあげる
It's all right. I'll tell you.
あなたが知らないあなたを教えてあげる
How ironic. I'll tell you all about the other you that even you aren't aware of.
あなたの中にはもう一人のあなたがいるの
Well, not inside of him. There is another you inside you.
DIT. Multiple personalities, in other words. When we were at Cafe, you had said the same thing. But that was just some stupid fucking delusion of hers. She didn't know shit. And she sure as hell didn't know me better than I did.
西条くんまだ知らないの自覚できていないの
Nishijo-kun, do you still not know? Are you really not aware of it?
何も知りませんでしたって許されると思ってるの
Are you thinking I'll let you go if you pretend not to know?
今まで何度も忠告してきたのどうして聞いてくれないの
I've warned you countless times. So why won't you listen?
あなたの中にはもう一人の人格将軍がいるこの人格は許されないことをしているの
There's another you inside you. Shogun, as you call it. And that you is doing unspeakable, unforgivable things.
これ以上放置はできないこれ以上人殺しはさせない
And I can't let it go on any longer. I won't even let one more person be killed.
あなたは早く病院に行って治療すべきそれが嫌だというなら私はあなたを警察に突き出す
You must go to the hospital and get help immediately. And if you refuse, I'll hand you over to the police.
将軍を放置することは西条君の罪
If you leave Shogun to his own devices, then all of his crimes will be on you, Nishijo-kun.
あなたの人殺しに加担しているんだって理解して
You will be complicit in the murders. You need to understand that.
I don't need to understand shit!
理解できるよね
Oh boy, she's gonna do it here. You understand, don't you? Understand, don't you? You understand. Truly understand. Yes, you understand, right? Oh, she actually didn't. Okay, I thought she was going to.
I didn't fucking kill anyone!
理解してもらわなきゃ困る
If you don't understand, then we have a problem.
I didn't have multiple personalities!
理解すべき
You have no choice but to understand.
This is the kind of shit you only see in anime and manga and shit! It's real life! I don't have DIT, goddammit!
出てきた私はあなたと話がしたいよ聞こえているんでしょ
I wonder, is the real Shogun gonna show himself? Jeez. Come out. I want to speak with you. You could hear me, can't you? Shogun.
I'm not Shogun! You've got the wrong guy! Shogun is someone else! I've even met him, for fuck's sake!
At least he's... There's one way to get him to realize she's not his fucking minion.
He uses a wheelchair and he appears out of thin air like some kind of ghost. He's always reading my mind like some sick fucking pervert. Despite having the voice of a kid, he's covered in wrinkles like an old man. He's my enemy. Don't let me in with him. Just thought makes me want to puke. Wait.
Yeah, here we go. Finally he's getting this.
Wasn't Yua supposed to be Shogun's underling? Could have sworn she was working for him. It really did seem like she genuinely had me and Shogun mixed up.
西条君自重してあなたは少し眠っていて
She should have brought chloroform. Relax, Nishijo-kun. I just want you to go to sleep for a little while.
将軍にその体を渡して
Let Shogun take control of your body.
Even if I do go to sleep, that won't fucking happen! I don't have multiple personalities, you stupid fucking bitch! I tried my hardest to say all that to her, but since her hand was still pressed firmly against my mouth, the best I could do was make a bunch of muffled groans.
出てきなさい
Come out.
出てき
Come out, Shogun.
出てき
Here we go. Come out now. Right this moment. Come out, Shogun. You must come out. Come out.
出られないよ
Won't you come out?
出てこられるはずよ
I know you can come out.
出たいでしょ
You want to come out, don't you? I swear, this is one of the weirdest verbal tics I've ever seen a character have in any kind of anime or anime adjacent media. Like, not even adding like a phrase at the end of sentences or like speaking in like a certain, like, you know, tone or whatever, but like just the repeating the same idea in different ways type thing. I kind of wish they would almost talk about that. And I do like your theory. I do like that theory, Zash. Given that you said it as a theory, it's probably not, you know, ever explored, but I wonder if, like, they ever gave a developer answer as to, like, the whole thing with Yua's verbal tic. You want to come out, don't you?
出てこい人殺し
Come out now, murderer.
Tears began to fall from my eyes. I lost all will to resist. All remaining strength left my body. I was so tired. Why? Why did I have to deal with this psycho? Why did I have to listen to all this bullshit he spewed at me? What had I done to deserve this? This was just too much. All because this delusional stalker had come to the wrong conclusion. And now no one would save me. Was I gonna die by her hands? Even if I didn't, even if I made it through today, there'd be no guarantee I'd survive tomorrow. Shogun could still Shogun up at any time. Would I have to live the rest of my life in fear? Please, I didn't want that. I didn't want to live like that. I'd rather go insane and then get locked up in some mental facility somewhere. I'd rather die right here, right now.
どうして泣くの
Why are you crying? Ooh, serious, Yua.
Yua slowly began to remove her hand from my mouth, and then she started lifting herself off me. As soon as her weight was completely off, I felt instant relief.
将軍が出てきたの
Has Shogun come out yet? Is he gonna, like, try to pretend to be Shogun? No, probably not.
I shook my head lifelessly.
ザリなんだ
I can't do it anymore.
Oh, don't say that. That's gonna make her think that You actually can become Shogun.
いっそ殺せ。
Just kill me.
殺さない。
I won't kill you.
私が殺させない。
I won't let you get killed either.
あなたは罪を償うべきなのよ。
You will atone for your crimes.
Like, seriously, given like all the new gen crimes, like I think they would just instantly just give him the death penalty. Like, seriously.
そして真実を語るべき。
And you will reveal the truth.
死んで逃げることは許さない。
I won't let you escape. Not even through death.
許さないわ。
Here we go.
I won't allow it.
許すわけにはいかないの。
I won't allow that to happen. It won't happen. Because of me. The person standing right in front of you. You are. You will not let that happen to you.
将軍は別にいる。
Shogun is somebody else.
ニュージェネの犯人はそいつだよ。
He's the new gen culprit.
将軍はあなたよ。
You are Shogun.
Takumi, maybe you can explain to her about the whole Darth Spider helmet thing.
あなたなの。
It's you.
あなたしか考えられない。
It can't be anyone else but you.
My words had gone in one ear and out the other. She refused to listen to me. She was completely convinced that she knew the truth. I wonder if we're going to have like an alternate D-Sword awakening for her here. There was no point in resisting.
将軍、出てきて。
Come out, Shogun.
出てきてよ。
Come out now.
出てきてって言ってるでしょ。
Didn't I tell you to come out?
どうして出てこないの？
Why aren't you coming out?
あなたがそこにいるのは分かってるのよ。
I know you're in there.
絶対に将軍を引き出してみせるわ。
I will make you come out, Shogun.
私は諦めないから。
And I will never let you go until I do.
それまで絶対に逃がさないから。
I will never give up. Never. I'm never going to let you go. I'm never going to desert you.
Suddenly, Yua stood up and went to close the open container door. She slowly picked up the padlock off the floor and used it to lock the door shut. Yeah, like, Yua is not being a very nice person right now. Like, she is being, like, whoa, extremely unreasonable. And, like, you can't 100% fault her because she was clearly manipulated into doing something like this by fucking Sua, the real culprit. Like, because we saw in the main route when he didn't do that, you know, she didn't, like, really bother him again. And she just talked with Bon, who explained it to her more. But, you know, it's still a lot on her that she's being so unreasonable. And I'd like to see more... that theory about her sister, like, not... But then, how would her sister be, like, part of the group dive? So that's the part of the theory I don't get. Like, how would it even be connected to the group dive? Like, why would the policeman even visit her house if the sister was not part of the group dive, you know? So, the theory doesn't seem too perfect to me. But I do want to know more about why, like, Yua is the way she is. Because Yua is out of, like, all the Gigalomaniacs, and it makes sense why she hasn't awakened before the beginning of the story. she's the one with the least bad of a past. Yeah, her sister did die, but she had like, compared to everyone else, she had a nice upbringing, except for that part, which was very recent. And everyone else had, like, absolutely shit childhoods. And also, I guess kind of the sister being, like, an alternate personality would kind of lend itself to, you know, her, like, building up to getting the D sword. I wonder if, like, that's going to be a plot point, even, like, her trying to real boot Mia back to life. Anyway, continuing with the story. She slowly picked the padlock off the floor and used it to lock the door shut. And then she stashed the key in the pocket of her uniform. Why was she doing this? What was she thinking? Oh! Oh, wow! Holy shit, I love this sprite. Oh, man. Oh, this is a badass sprite. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Wow. Can you do this more often, Yua? Oh, holy shit. Wow. I'd say it's the best sprite in the whole game we've seen so far. Dang. Wow. Oh my god. I would love to see, like, edits of this sprite. Like, you know, like, oh wow. Oh my god. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I just, like, Yua. I think Yua was a favorite of the artist because Yua has so many sprites for how little she actually appears in the story and interacts with Takumi. Like, I'd say out of all the main girls, she has the least least of an impact and connection with Takumi, because even though she's the first one to be with him, she barely even appears after that initial part in the story. But she has so many different expressions. Like, I think way more than a lot of other characters that appeared more often. And, like, then we just get this. Like, damn! I just can't get... I'm sorry. I already really like the art for this game, but, like, holy shit. Wow. Love it. I will never let you go. A faint murmur, spoken to no one but herself. When that chilled me to the bone. Of the countless fast food restaurants located through Shibuya, every single one was always packed front to back with young people. It took a lot of courage for a lone middle-aged man to come to a place like this. Oh, here's Bond. After all, he'd be sure to stick out like a sore thumb. I hope he lives in this route. And I'm still not gonna buy that he's dead in the true ending. Like, I really want to see, like if he wasn't saved somehow. Those were the thoughts circulating in Bon Yasuji's mind as he sipped his coffee, surrounded on all sides by young people chattering away. The drink in his paper cup was already starting to go cold. A single clear file folder sat on the table in front of him. Inside it was a handful of photocopied documents from the investigation files, many of which were adorned with Bond's countless sticky notes. Bond had arrived at the restaurant about an hour ago, the location where he planned to personally re-examine the file's contents. As for why he had chosen such a busy place like this, he had been removed from the New Gen investigation team a few days prior. He still wished to independently run background checks on all relevant persons. A copy of the report that Bond was sifting through, which was neither intended to leave the police station Never intended to. Had a few images attached to it. Oh, here we go. More about the sister. One photograph depicted one of the victims of the first New Gen incident, the group dive. A girl named Kusunoki Miya. Oh, here we go. Bond's interest had been piqued the previous day when he met with Mia's older sister, Kusunoki Yua. After hearing Yua describe Mia's personality, he decided to investigate further. Oh, here we go. At first, he was also looking into rumors from around Shibuya, such as the high school girl with a sword, but in the end, every lead turned up cold. That is, except for Mia. And after reading through the documents again and again, he still believed like something was off. There was a lot of information which seemed trivial at best, or at the very least not directly related to the case. But after putting the pieces together, something felt out of place. And when Bond had heard Yua's story yesterday, the feeling had crept up on him all the more. After all, there was something in the file that Bond could not ignore. A pair of glasses was found among the possessions of Kusunoki Miya, one of the group dive participants. Well, yeah, so they both wore glasses. Makes sense, they're sisters, twins. Why would that detail rub Bond the wrong way? Oh, because the glasses survived the fall? Is that it? Like, that was the detail that rubbed Bond the wrong way. He took a look at a list of notes taken from various interviews conducted during the investigation. Taking another sip of coffee, Bond let out a befuddled grunt. Ooh, here we go. Here we go, more of the mystery. From her birth all the way up to her death, there was not a single photograph of Kusunoki Miya wearing glasses. It was her sister, Kusunoki Yua, that wore them. Oh, wow. Oh, here we go. There's some Persona 5 royal shit here. He'd even gone so far as to obtain Kusunoki Miya's medical records. Sure enough, she had boasted perfect 2020. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And this had no need for glasses. Oh my god. Huh. But then what's up with the parents saying that she never had a sister? Like, was that the mind control? Or like... So did she like... I wonder if like the sister was always real, but she like broke mentally and like... Or something. Like... Huh. Or like she couldn't handle the death. And like created her sister's personality in her mind. I wonder if she could real boot her if that's the case. Like bring her back to life that way. Huh. I wonder how that would actually work if that... Because she is a gigalomaniac. But would that like shorten her lifespan? Kusunoki Miya had been a quiet girl with interest in anime. Quite the contrast to her happy-go-lucky sister. It all matched up with the description Kusunoki Yua had given. So I wonder if Yua, like, if she took off the glasses, she could see perfectly. With the 5 victims of the group dive were friends, so some reports suggested that their encounter on the rooftop was the first time they'd ever met. Allegedly, they were online friends who had gotten together for an offline meet. Naturally, their online activity was heavily scrutinized as part of the investigation, but there were never any signs of suicidal tendencies displayed by the victims. Oh, wow. Oh, this is cool. We have like a little mystery on our hands, gang. Furthermore, several hours before the group dive, 2 high school girls who appeared to be twins had spotted walking into a fast food restaurant in Shibuya. Bond took a look around. He was sitting in the very same fast food restaurant mentioned in the report. Before sitting down, Bond had also taken the time to speak with one of the restaurant's employees. The employee had told him the two girls had chatted for a while, then proceeded to take a 10-minute bathroom break.
What on earth could have taken him so long in there?
Bond wondered. I mean, come on. I don't want to, like, bring up stereotypes, but, like, they could have been doing their makeup in the bathroom and, like, take longer. He stared intently at the women's restroom, which caught the scornful glare of every young girl nearby. Realizing this, Ben flashed a wry smile, before returning his gaze back to the streets outside the window. "18 excruciating hours had passed since you had raided..." Oh. 18 excruciating hours had passed since you had raided my container. My hands have been tied behind my back and around my leg on my loft bed. Fortunately, I'd been tied sitting down, so it wasn't too exhausting. Unfortunately, the rope coiled around my wrist was constantly digging into them, which was fairly painful. I somehow managed to doze off for around 3 hours during that time. It didn't do me any good. Still very sleepy, likely due to the fact that no one could get half decent sleep like this. Damn it. I wasn't into this S&M shit at all. The one fetish I don't have. Fuck. If I could only hit decline on this RP invite. Meanwhile, you are still being badass. You was still sitting up on the sofa, watching me. She had been doing so all night. She really had been putting her all into it, too. She did nothing else the entire time. Did she ever sleep? What was she even trying to accomplish here to begin with? You was convinced I had DID, but I knew that wasn't true. She could wait like that all she wants, but Shogun would never come out. She hadn't gagged me and eventually actually allowed me to speak right after she tied me down. Of course, I'd taken full advantage of that to voice above thoughts over and over again, but I just went in one ear and out the other. After a few hours of trying to change her mind, I realized how obstinate she really was, so I just gave up. And after that... You created Shogun. No, it's actually vice versa. You are Shogun. I love how they all have, like, every root has, like, this kind of, like, these foreshadowing, like, moments in them, which is pretty funny. Like, this is technically maybe kind of correct. He is simply a mechanism for you to escape reality. Shogun is none other than you, yourself. But at the same time, he is his own separate existence. Another you that exists within you. The embodiment of your dark side. That's not true. An existence crafted to protect your fragile mind. Your madness. You are a murderer that takes pleasure in every kill. One who doesn't care about the who. One who doesn't care about the how. One who exists just to kill. And it doesn't matter who you kill, does it? Does it? Why did you choose me?
答えて
Answer me.
答えて
Answer me now.
答えてください
Please answer me.
答えてほしい
I want you to answer.
答えないと許しません
You need to answer or else.
You kept mumbling her pathological ramblings over and over and over again, never coming up for air. My room was extremely small. My only means of covering my ears, my hands were tied up, so I had no choice but to listen. I thought I was going insane. On top of that, I felt as if I'd only gotten to experience the tip of the iceberg. I started trying to think of a way to escape. I tried pulling the toilet cart to weigh my chances of getting out of here. But it didn't work. She did untie my hands and allow me to go, but she followed me very closely. She stood right behind me the entire time, never taking her eyes off me, even when I was doing my business. To make matters worse, she even continued spouting those insane ramblings of hers from behind my back. How long was this shit gonna go on for? I couldn't even get some actual sleep because who knows when this bitch was gonna snap and kill me out of nowhere. Then again, even if I was awake, I wasn't confident I'd be able to defend myself anyway.
何がきっかけ
What triggers it?
どうすれば出てくるんですか
What does it take to make you come out?
肉体的苦痛
Physical pain,
精神的苦痛
psychological pain,
性的衝動
sexual urges,
トラウマ
invoking trauma,
偶然
or it's simply by chance. Yua's murmurs suddenly came to a stop. But even then she was still glaring at me. The room had become dead silent, and yet given the circumstances, the stillness only served to make me even more tense. Suddenly, the sound of a stomach growling broke the silence. I hadn't had anything to eat or drink, so I was obviously hungry. And that still hadn't been me just now. Which meant that Yo was hungry too. Moreover, I was sure I'd heard his stomach growling, but Yua's lack of reaction almost made me reconsider. Normal girls, Seraton, for example. My god, that's hilarious. Yeah, Sarah's just a totally normal girl. Would have had a way cure reaction. Yeah, she'd most likely say something like this.
何さしょうがないっしょ食べたいけど僕我慢してるんだから
What? It ain't my fault. Yeah, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. But I've been trying so hard to hold it in, so it's only natural.
なんでってそれは前にあなたに太ってるって言われたから
Huh? You wanna know why? Well, last time you said I put on a couple pounds.
でも別にさあなたに言われたからダイエットしてるわけじゃないよ勘違いしないでよねこのコケナス
But it's not like I went on a diet because you told me that or anything. Don't take it the wrong way, you big dum-dum.
Hollywood classic tsundere. As transparent as a glass window. Sarah, you're so cute when you get mad and blush like that, Sarah. Damn it. The situation I was in really making me want to escape into my delusions.
食べないんですか？
Don't you want to eat? Yua's tone was as ice cold as ever. Now still sitting, she lowered her gaze down at my feet. A plate had been placed in front of them. It was a plate full of pasta, Tarraco spaghetti to be precise, served with a finely cut seaweed garnish. However, it had already been sitting there for around 2 hours, so the pasta probably was all dry and sticky by now. You had made it for me. She tied me up and left me without saying a word, then came back about 30 minutes later with a heaping plate of pasta. This is the Stockholm Syndrome road, I see. It would seem she'd gone to the supermarket, brought the ingredients, and cooked them into a pasta for me outside of the container house. What was she plotting by making me a home-cooked meal? I couldn't wrap my head around it. She could just bought something that was ready-made at the convenience store. Maybe she'd poison it. The thought made me want to stay as far away from it as possible. Besides, it wasn't like I could eat it if I wanted to. My hands were tied up and the plate was at my feet.
あんたが食べればいい。
Exactly, Sash. You can have it. I literally can't eat this. Remembering that Yua's stomach had growled, I gave the sarcastic retort.
あなたを肉体的にいたぶろうとか、そんなつもりはないんです。
I don't plan on torturing you physically.
私はただ将軍が出てくるのを待っているだけ。
I'm simply waiting for Shogun to come out.
だから食べてください。食べてくれなきゃ困ります。食べて。
So please eat. It'll be problematic if you don't eat.
この状態で食べられると思ってるの？
Do you really think I can eat it in a situation like this?
無茶言わないでよ。
Don't be ridiculous. Yua stood up, walked up to me, and then she crouched down next to me. I looked away in fear, while holding on to the hope that she'd untie the rope coiled around my hands. But of course that wasn't what happened. Instead, Yua picked up the plate and struggled to twirl the dry as hell sticky pasta with a fork, and then when she finally managed, she held it out to my mouth.
どうぞ。
Here. Yep, definitely Stockholm Syndrome route.
嫌だ。食べないぞ。
No, I'm not eating that shit. Okay, open wide. Say ah. And its variants were events you could only experience in Eroshi. This was real life. When things were this tense, all her feeding me. All her feeding me did was to highlight her murderous intent all the more. At least untie me if you're gonna do shit like this. At least if I was untied, I could pretend to eat some and go. You up this taste shit. Take it away, okay, thanks. But I wasn't even afforded that.
レンジでチンしましょうか。
Shall I warm it up in the microwave?
いらないって言ってるじゃないか。
I just said I'm not gonna eat it. I thought about knocking the plate out of her hand with my knee. But if I did that, she'd definitely get pissed. There would be no telling what she'd do next. Thoughts and chills down my spine, so in the end I decided to hold back the urge.
分かってください。私が西条くんにこんなことするのは、あなたを救うためでもあるんです。
Please understand, Nishido-kun. I'm doing this not just to protect everyone else, but I save you too.
決してあなたを傷つけるためじゃないんですよ。
I never ever wanted to hurt you.
Oh. The fuck are you talking about? Are you stupid? You wanna die? What the hell did you think? What the hell did you think she was? She wanted to she wanted to save me? Sure, it was true that New Gen Shogun and all this stuff scared the living shit out of me, and they just really wanted someone to save me. Someone was clearly excluding Yua. I never asked to be subjugated to this crazy bitch's delusions.
食べて。
Eat.
無理にでも食べて。
Eat, even if you have to force yourself.
There was cold pasta twirled around the fork. Yua shoved it toward my mouth.
食べられますよね。
You can eat, can't you?
Yua moved even closer, still glaring at me to no end.
食べてください。
Eat, please.
食べて。
Eat.
Suddenly, Yua stopped dead in her tracks. Why did this bitch come closer and closer every time she got mad? I kept looking away and clamped my mouth shut. She must have been insane if she thought I'd ever eat something she made. Ended up with fucking food poisoning.
Oh my god, we got silly music. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun, like, freaking Stockholm syndrome thing. It looks like a lot of these take place in the vast majority of his container, it seems.
An hour or so had passed. My stomach was still growling. I was so scared I wanted to scream, but I couldn't.
食べて。
Eat.
食べて。
Eat now.
食べてって言ってるでしょ。
Didn't I tell you to eat?
食べて。
Eat.
You was still crouching down next to me, staring at me. She was still trying to shove the pasta down my throat, too. She had stayed there the entire time in the exact same position.
食べて。
Eat.
食べてください。
Please eat.
食べないと。
You need to eat.
食べて。
Just take one bite, Taku. See what she does. Eat.
食べてほしい。
I want you to eat.
食べて。
Eat.
食べなさい。
Eat it.
食べて
Eat it now.
食べていいの
It's safe to eat.
食べなよ
Eat it up.
食べろ
Eat. She just kept on making her demands in a series of low murmurs, refusing to do anything else. I had a feeling another hour had passed already. I was so creeped out I couldn't even lift a finger. I was petrified. I was a deer perpetually stuck in the headlights. She didn't hurt me or anything, and she didn't force me to eat this pasta either. And yet somehow I felt more and more afraid of Yua with each passing moment, because she's getting more and more desperate. She was simply waiting for me to eat and nothing else. And yet I was still scared shitless. A normal person would have given up after about 5 minutes, but not Yua. No, Yua had kept it at it for over an hour. If this were a normal version of this kind of thing, Yua would pull my hair, force my mouth open, and scream at me, "Eat it, you scumbag!" But she didn't. So I didn't have the slightest clue what the hell she was thinking. She was a total freak. She was broken. No sane person could do what she was doing. She wasn't a human. She couldn't be. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. I'm scared, 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 I'm scared. He was at rock bottom. I wanted to kneel down and beg her for forgiveness. My entire body was covered in a thick, disgusting sweat. I was enduring so much anguish mentally I could hardly breathe. I didn't know what to do. I'd never had a girl stare at me from this close, for this long before. But who the hell has? If we were a couple having some lovey-dovey conversation while we rubbed our noses together or some shit, that'd be fine, but no! No, 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 no. You were just kept on repeating the same shit over and over again like a fucking goddamn record. Broken record. But this broken record never stopped functioning, fucking glaring at me. How is this even real?
食べて
Eat.
食べなさい
Eat it.
食べて
Eat now.
食べて
Maybe this is a good time for talking me to ask and, like, learn about a verbal tick. Eat, please.
食べろ
Eat. I couldn't deal with her gaze on my arm on me any longer. So I decided to squeeze out a single word. My voice had gone hoarse.
食べるよ
Fine. Yua's murmur stopped. She remained completely still, in the same posture as before. I forced my mouth open. I nervously ate the pulse that she had been trying to feed me over an hour ago. It's an hour old, and is it still kept? My mouth was already dry to begin with, and eating withered pasta definitely didn't help. Just sucked away any remaining moisture I had left. I couldn't bear the taste, so I almost didn't chew on it as well as I choked the pasta down. Oh no! He hates the taste!
Yua blinked a few times, surprised to see me actually eating. And like a statue come to life, she started moving again.
おいしい
Does it taste good? No, it doesn't taste good at all, I thought to myself. But there was no way I could say it to her face, so I just gave a weak nod instead.
よかったです
I'm glad to hear it. Despite what she said, Yua still had the most deadpan expression on her face. I couldn't detect even the simplest, slightest bit of happiness. She moved the fourth back towards the plate she was holding, and with it she picked up another clump of the dry, sticky pasta and held it in my mouth once again. Did I really have to eat all of it? Would she not let me go otherwise? Give me a break already. Tears started flowing from my eyes. I couldn't hold them in anymore. I was just too scared. And yet, no matter how hard I cried, Yua didn't seem to care. She would keep on doing this until I finished the entire plate. So I ate, tears endlessly streaming down my face. She kept on feeding me that dry, shitty pasta. By the time I finished all of it, I was physically and mentally exhausted.
お腹いっぱいになりましたか
Are you full now?
なりましたよね
You're full, aren't you?
なった
Here we go. You should be full now.
一生懸命作った甲斐がありました
Good. Then the time I spent making this for you was worth it. In contrast to what she said, Yua's tone was cold as ice. Then at last she took a small step away from me, placed the plate on my desk, and sat down on the sofa. After sitting down, she looked in my direction and went right back to staring at me. And as she stared, she stopped moving. Don't look at me, damn it. Please stop looking at me. I did nothing but chant those words over and over inside my head, but I couldn't say them out loud. I was too scared. Was she really gonna monitor me for an entire day? That was straight up psychological torture. Just the mere thought of it made me even more depressed.
なんでこんなことするんだよ
Why are you doing this? I was crying now, but I couldn't help but ask that. I needed to know. Cat gone crazy.
何の恨みがあって
What did I do to you?
妹が死んだんです
My younger sister died. Finally! Finally! Finally. Wow. Yeah, this is like the Stockholm Syndrome route. Oh my god! Olga, you're right! She talks like Kronk! Yes! Ah, yes. Taku's poison. The poison meant for Taku. The poison meant to kill Taku. Taku's poison. Yes. Yes! Oh my god. Yes. And like Takumi is like deluding that like Shogun is like Izma, and he's like, pull the lever, you are, and he's like, wrong lever. Oh my god, I gotta turn the air conditioning off again because it won't make up its mind to be too cold or too hot. Jeez, hold on.
god. So yeah, this is interesting. So yeah, we have two major things going on, like the mystery of Yua's sister and this whole Stockholm syndrome thing going on right now, where they're both finally learning about each other's backstories.
Huh? Younger sister. For a split second, Yua looked like she was about to cry, only to quickly reassume her ice-cold expression.
集団ダイブの被害者の一人、私の双子の妹、ミヤって言います。
She was one of the group dive victims. We were twins, and she was the younger one. Her name was Mia.
私は妹を殺した犯人を許さない。許さないって思ってました。
I'll never let the murderer who killed my sister get away with it. That's the promise I made to myself.
そしてあなたにたどり着いた。
And then I found you.
あなたの苦しみを知りました。
I learned about your suffering.
私は妹がなぜ殺されなくちゃいけなかったのか、その真実を知りたい。
I want to find out why my sister was killed. I want to know the truth.
なぜ犯人が将軍が妹を殺したのか知りたい。
I want to know why the culprit, why Shogun killed her.
それとあなたも助けたい。
And I also want to save you.
分かってください。
Please understand.
分かってくれますよね。
You understand, right?
分かるはず。
Here we go. You should understand.
分かるはずです。
God, I'm sorry. Like, unless there's a specific reason why she talks like this, it doesn't work for me. Like, if there's a reason behind it, I get it. But, like, the rest of her personality is too normal for, like, something like this to be just, like, seen as eclectic. Like, if she was a wackier character, then I wouldn't mind it as much. But she's just so serious and normal except for that, and nobody questions it. I'm sure you understand.
I thought back to the video of the group dive that had been uploaded to YouTube. Had one of those crying victims in that video been Yua's younger sister? I knew full well what Yua was going through. Same kind of thing had happened recently with Nanami, after all.
But that didn't mean I could forgive what...
Oh, that didn't mean I could forget what she was doing right now. This crazy bitch had broken into my house, tied me up, and now she was holding me captive. Yeah, no way in hell could I ever feel sympathy for her after all that shit.
Hello, Dark Samurai. Welcome to the stream.
Oh. I had completely lost track of time. My room had no windows after all. I had no way to tell what time it was.
その目誰の目ってどういう意味？
What does whose eyes are those eyes mean?
どうしてこれから殺す相手に言わせたの？
Why did you have the people you were about to kill say that?
どうしてダイイングメッセージとして残したの？
Why was it left as a dying message?
あなたは何を訴えたいの？
What were you trying to convey?
Usually I just check the time on my phone or PC. Not that there were any other ways to do so, but since I was still tied to the leg of my bed, I obviously couldn't use either method. Only chance I got to check the time was whenever I went to the bathroom. But even then, it was a pretty small window. But the longer this torture lasted, the harder it got for me to get up and use the toilet. I didn't even feel the urge to piss, likely because I wasn't drinking enough water. Felt as if I'd been deprived of all physiological phenomena for over a day now.
どうしてダーススパイダーなの？
Here we go. Now he's gonna tell her about that. Why Darth Spider?
それを被ることで何を訴えたかったの？
What were you trying to accomplish by wearing that character's helmet?
宗教的な意味があるの？
Does it bear some kind of religious significance?
ダークヒーロー願望？
Do you aspire to be an anti-hero?
それともセランをバカにしたいだけ？
Or do you just want to make a mockery of public opinion?
You practically didn't move an inch. She simply continued sitting on the sofa, standing up every once in a while, only to sit back down right after. And her muttering hadn't stopped the entire time. How is she still talking after this long? It wasn't like I could kill time on my PC, nor could I make any calls or send any messages. I couldn't even sleep. All I could do was sit there and be assaulted endlessly with questions. He was mumbling, was starting to sound like a mantra or something at this point. I couldn't stand being watched for this long. Sure, I had to cope with Shogun reading my mind and the sensation of being observed by the gaze. While those things did suck, I could still at least stomach them. But I wish I could say the same about Yua's unending watch. Her gaze was so utterly devoid of any emotion or warmth that it genuinely felt as if I wasn't even there. Like my very existence itself was constantly being ignored, if not outright denied by her. Regardless, the point is that I knew nothing about what was going on in the outside world, and I couldn't, as long as I was tied up.
She should just check if there's been any new gen incidents, and that would immediately clear him of suspicion. Like, I wonder if she's gonna, like, dig in further and say, like, you must have an accomplice or something like that. But, like, that's all that has to happen to shake that, hopefully.
I had lost all perception of time. I didn't know how many days had passed since I'd been tied up. I had a feeling that 2 days or so had gone by, but it sure as hell felt more like a month.
Where is Rimi during all this? Was she trying to rescue Nanami?
Being deprived of my freedom of movement was really stressful. Every minute of however many hours passed, I would think to myself, I sure need to look at a clock. That was the sole thing on my mind.
それとも
Or perhaps. Yua's head suddenly tilted. Okay, that's what he said.
She took off her glasses and rubbed the eyelids that occulted her bleary eyes. She was only human, I'd imagine. So she was finally starting to get tired. She hadn't got a wink of sleep the entire time, after all. Maybe she should have thought this through before doing it. She was just wasting her time. Nothing would come to any of this. It would never happen if she just listened to me.
いつ出てきてくれるんですか？
When are you going to come out?
Her whispers were practically delirious. Come out. She must have still been talking about Shogun.
そうしたら出てきてくれるんですか？
Show her the Shogun emails. How can I get you to come out?
出てきてよ。
Won't you come out?
Unfortunately for you, he won't come out no matter how much you plead because he's not there to begin with.
待ってるから。
I will keep waiting.
待って。
I will wait. And conked out. Probably unconscious.
Silas took over the room once more. Yua's body slowly tilted over.
Dang.
With all her strength gone, she fell to her side on the sofa. Had she fallen asleep? Had her batteries finally run out? I breathed a sigh of relief and all the tension on my body released along with it. I hadn't even had a single moment to relax in the entire time she'd been staring at me, and now that she wasn't, I finally took it easy for a bit.
タッキー、何のんきなこと言ってんの？
Talkie? Why aren't you using your noggin here?
Sarah-chan's voice rang out from beside my monitor.
逃げるなら今がチャンスなのよ。
Isn't this your chance to skedaddle?
それどころかさ、今なら無防備なユアッチを逆監禁できるかも。
Maybe you could even turn the tables here and tie her up instead. She's completely defenseless.
そしたらやりたい放題じゃん。
My God. Sarah, you can be so fucking vile sometimes. And then you can do whatever you want with her, be big dum dum.
Oh, I see. So I can degrade her and train her to becoming a perfect sex slave? Picking up what you're putting down.
Oh God, no.
You was still lying on the sofa, so I took a nervous glance at her face. To be honest, if I ignored everything else, her sleeping face was actually pretty cute. Reminding me of when we first met, that gentle smile she'd had. I also didn't know what you had really been thinking of back then, nor that she'd seen me as a murderer. If anything, I saw her as an enemy, as one of Shogun's underlings. But it was her fault for making me think that. She was the one who deceived me, who betrayed me, so if I wanted to degrade her and turn her into a sex slave, that bitch had no right to complain. Oh my God, Takumi. I peeked at Yua's sleeping face once more.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That one is on Sarah. He did not think of that until she showed up. The bitch.
Peeked at Yua's sleeping face once more. Her eyelids twitched erratically, and her face contorted in a pained expression. Her eyes twitched erratically, and her face contorted in a pained expression. Then, from the corner of her eye, a single tear ran down her cheek. Could she be having a nightmare about her dead sister? Ooh.
調教師なの？
Taki? Aren't you gonna make her your slave? Fuck off, Sarah.
After seeing her shed a tear like that, I already lost the drive. Thank God.
監禁されて禁縛されてるのに
Thank God, seriously.
タッキーって成人君子だね。優しすぎる。そこはタッキーのいいところだけど、時と場合によるよ。
My God, you are literally the devil on his shoulder. Fucking hell. Even after she had you all locked up and bondaged up? Oh, Tucker, you're so noble. So kind, too. Hey, far too kind. That's one of the things I love about you. Maybe you should think about doing away with all this just this once. Considering how perfect the opportunity is.
It's not what he meant. Of course I wasn't going to forgive you that easily. She didn't have the strength to be angry with her nor even resist at all. It was all gone, completely sapped. Was it because of the huge release in tension, or could it have been because she told me about her little sister? I didn't really feel like you would want to hurt me or anything, weird as that might sound. Suddenly I was struck with an intense drowsiness, and so I surrendered my body to the feeling, allowing myself to forget, only for a moment, the pain my bloody wrists were my bound wrists were being tortured by. I'll think of a way out of this later. Oh boy. As soon as I woke up, I knew something was off. Like something was missing. Still half asleep, I looked around my room. Tried to stand up, but the rope coiled around my wrist dug in deep, and the sheer pain stopped me in my tracks. The pain immediately reminded me that I was tied up. And the one that had done so was Yua. Oh, Yua wasn't here. So that's what felt off. I was the only one in the room. Where is she gone? Has she gone to make food or use the bathroom? I didn't know how many days it had been since Yua locked me in here. What I did know is that neither of us had been to school the entire time. We only went outside to use the bathrooms or cook or something. I wasn't even allowed to take a shower. I let out such a heavy sigh. Yua should come back any minute now. When she did, she'd start watching me all over again. When she did, she'd start watching me all over again. Had Yua always been this stubborn? Or was it the hatred and regret she felt from her sister's death that made her start acting this way? Regardless, how could I make her understand that I wasn't Shogun? Maybe I could show her the messages Shogun had sent me, if they were still on my PC anyway.
Definitely do that.
But let's be honest, we're long past that. Yu was fully devoted to the delusional bullshit she'd come up with. I doubt she'd even believe me if I did show them to her. I needed something more concrete, something to convince her that Shogun and I were two completely different people. If only he would just show up here, then there'd be no denying it. Oh, missed the line. Kinda sucked for me if that happened, though. Didn't want him anywhere near me. And besides, if he came to my base, he'd probably be to kill me.
ねえねえタッキー、逃げた方がいいよ。
Come on, Tucker. You gotta hightail it out of here. Okay. 100% she's supposed to be Southern now. Oh my God. I didn't even... Okay.
That I am, yes, vindication. Vindication.
私あんな思い込み激しいストーカー女にこれ以上タッキーがいじめられるの見たくないもん。
I can't stand watching this judgmental, violent stalker girl bully you like this.
Thank you, Sarah. I can't run. I can't untie myself on my own. I'd obviously already made my fair share of attempts to escape, but my struggle had proved futile. Yua's knots were tight, and no matter how I already tried, I couldn't even get them to budge.
私が3次元になれたら今すぐタッキーを助けに行くのにな。
Oh, if only I was a 3D girl. I could just come down and rescue right away. Talking.
I don't know, as great as escaping sounds on paper, Sarah, I just think doing whatever she says, like I've been doing, is a far safer option. If I tried to escape and failed, could make you go berserk. I tried to escape and failed, I really could make you go berserk. Whenever Yua lost her temper, it was crazy how scary she got. I was gonna do everything I could not to provoke her.
自分の命を守るために一番いい方法をちゃんと考えてるんだね。すごいよタッキー。
Wow, you're really taking your time to think of the best way to keep your head on your shoulders. Hard to talk it. You're so amazing.
だけど私さ、これ以上タッキーとあの女が同じ部屋にいるのは嫌だな。
But you know, I don't really want you to stay in the room much longer.
As much as I hated to admit it, as long as I was tied up, I was extremely dependent on Yua to survive. Luckily, she hadn't been violent with me at all yet. She even cooked for me and let me use the bathroom whenever I asked. Still treating me like a human being. And I was sure that when she finally understood, no matter how long she waited, Shogun wouldn't come out, she'd let me go. Well, even better, I was sure she'd beg me for forgiveness. Of course, I'd make her get down on her hands and knees, or what else would be the point? And while we're at it, I could accidentally grab her tits, too.
Jeez.
And then it'd be all forgotten. You would go back to her own life, and I'd go on with mine. She'd never see me again, and never get to see her again. So at the very least, the Yua threat would disappear completely. Or if I was very lucky, there was even a chance that she would have a change of heart and end up joining my party.
That does happen in games.
Shogun was still real and very much a problem, so Yua could set up and replace Rimi as my protector. It'd be better than nothing. We even had some common ground. Above all else, Yua resented the new gen culprit and therefore Shogun. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yua's interest in mine coincided.
僕って頭良くね、天才じゃね。
I am so smart. I'm a kind of genius, TBH.
Oh, a kind.
タッキーってば天才。私さ、ますますタッキーのこと好きになっちゃった。
Yup, you're a bona fide genius, Taki. You know, keep this up, might just might fall hell over heels for y'all.
And so I decided to ride this storm out. Okay, where in the hell was she? Yua still hadn't shown any signs of coming back. Been a good while since she'd left, too. I knew for a fact that at least a few hours had passed, probably. Where in the world has she gone? Sure as hell wasn't the toilet. I can also rule out that she'd been grabbing dinner since there was no way it would have taken this long. Every time she's gone out to buy us food, she just went to the nearby supermarket and came back shortly after. So where was she? Had she gone to school? Didn't even know what time it was right now, but if it was around noon, then it was certainly a possibility. If I could have just looked at the minimum attendance chart, then I would have been able to know what day it was instantly. It would have told me a lot, really. For example, if you had kept me locked up for 3 days straight, and the first day had been Friday, that would explain why she'd be able to stay here and not go to school. Because it'd be the weekend. In other words, today was Monday, and you had gone to school. It had to be it. It had to. What day had it been when you had broken in my room again? My consciousness was already foggy as hell, so I couldn't remember clearly. But what if she hadn't gone to school? What if she gone back home, for example? These days, every slut in high school would stay out overnight without asking their parents, but you wasn't like that. Even if she had gotten permission, staying over at my place for who knows how many nights would have definitely made her parents worry. So knowing that, she'd gone back home in order to pacify them. Probably. That made a lot of sense, actually. Regardless of where she'd gone off to, she had to come back eventually. So it would be in my best interest to stay put and conserve my energy. Letting out a small sigh, I closed my eyes. Might as well get some sleep. I think I got to agree with that. Takumi, oh, here we go. I'm just feeling really tired right now. I couldn't sleep. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me. But we'll continue this next time, and if we have extra time, we'll start the bad ending route. Let me just make a save. So yeah, this is a really interesting plot line we've got going on here. With I want to see where this leads. Looks like it definitely will be heading to some kind of Stockholm situation here. But the main thing I want to know is more about Yua's sister. And like if she is a secondary personality of Yua or not. Or is it the vice versa? Or was she just recently created when the physical sister died? But yeah. Until next time, I will say, so long, farewell, have we to say good night. You're all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.